Welcome back to Fanopy Growth. I'm your host Jacob, and today is Sunday, December 27th, 2020, and we're going to be taking a look at Canopy here. For those of you that are new to the channel, we cover Canopy Growth every week, ticker symbol CGC on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, and this is one of the biggest cannabis companies in the world. So we're going to look over this article here to start with. One article that I really liked, and this was off of Marijuana Moment by Kyle Jager, so we're gonna shout out him on this, but we're gonna look at it here. So, Canopy Growth says GW Pharma infringed on CBD extraction patent in federal lawsuit. So this is something that Canopy has done a lot of, which is developed a big portfolio of intellectual property, and so something about this CBD extraction patent is infringing upon a patent that we have. So you see that they go over what happened here. So two of the biggest players in the marijuana space. So GW Pharma, they are associated with this UK-based firm that produces the Food and Drug Administration approved cannabis-derived anti-seizure medication Epidiolex. So basically, Canopy is saying that one of the ways that they are doing this CBD extraction is something that we have copywritten. So hopefully we can use this to kind of have a stronghold in the cannabis space, being that we have so many patents and intellectual property that's gonna show that we are kind of the first guys that been in this space and done a lot of the scientific methods to come up with extraction methods and different stuff like that. So it really could be a major threat to the extraction industry once they know about the patent. Companies might be considered to be willfully infringing the patent, which can potentially triple damage if they are sued. So it remains to be seen whether Canopy will pursue litigation against other companies that use the extraction process. GW is one of the biggest players as a pharmaceutical firm that earned the first U.S. federal approval for a cannabis-derived medication. So the lawsuit asserts that GW manufactures CBD, the active ingredient in Epidiolex GWs, using Canopy Growth's patented CO2-based extraction process. So, said the chief legal officer at Canopy Growth, we have no interest in restricting access to Epidiolex, but the company should be fairly compensated for GW's use of our intellectual property. So I think this was interesting. Um, so yeah, you know, going back to some of the earlier times when I started learning about Canopy, that was one of the things that really attracted me to them, was that they were doing so much work that was not yet done here in the space. So they definitely have a lot of good information and knowledge about cannabis and everything related. So I like to be with the most knowledgeable player. And they're active, so you can see this. So yeah, one possibility would be for Canopy to license out its extraction method to other businesses that produce cannabis products. So we'll see how this plays out. Next one that we got for you guys, Village Farms International. So Village Farms. So there's a speculation that somebody from Raymond James, I guess, is putting out there. He thinks that Canopy might acquire this company called Village Farms. So Village Farms is a company here that is a cannabis company, and we're gonna just go over it here. So it says that Rahul Sarugasar, Raymond James analyst, starts off the note by writing about Village Farms material outperformance of their stock price. The stock closed up 13% yesterday on a larger than average volume and is up 3%, while other major Canadian companies are down between 2.5 to 5%. So this was on that short day that we had. They showed some good strength here, VFF. So he lists many reasons why they should outperform. It talks about they could be a catch-up trade versus Canadian and U.S. cannabis peers because they're undervalued, he thinks. Solid technical setup. Start the week that woke up the algos. A beginning of a rally into the Georgia runoff election. So that's another big catalyst. That Georgia runoff election, I think that's going to be held on January 5th, I believe, and that's going to determine who's going to have control of the Senate. So that's another important thing to look for. Hopefully the Democrats can keep the control so we can move forward with these decriminalization plans and legalization plans. So definitely. So we also seen the merger between Afria and Tilray. So after that, they anticipate a consolidation in the global cannabis sector. Um, so so he goes on to say that one reason why is because Canopy has that large balance sheet, and being dethroned as the largest cannabis company is not going to be good for Canopy. And Canopy's focus on the U.S. makes Village Farms assets fit like a glove. So three core reasons he thinks that Canopy might acquire Village Farms. So the first thing that this acquisition would achieve for Canopy is it would catapult us to the durable number one spot in the Canadian recreational space. So he said that between a free and Tilray together, they make up about 17%. So Canopy, it has about 9%. VFF has about 8%. So if we came together, that would be 17 to rival that 17 that they're doing over there. So one other interesting thing I think he said was that here, the difference also is that Village Farms, they have a Pure Sun Farms, that's a brand, I believe, and it has the fastest growing market share in Canada. So we're actually moving towards coming higher there. That Village Farms, not weird, but maybe weird, but the Village Farms, they're growing faster, while over at Tilray and Afria, they're actually declining in sales in the recent months. So another thing that would help is that they have a good cost of goods sold, and it's the lowest in the space. That would allow Canopy to get some better margins. We're always looking to improve that margin, as we have been speaking about on these earning calls and whatnot. And they would give us a reliable, large-scale supply of high-quality cannabis. We have a lot of growing, but we've been cutting back. If they can grow cheaper, maybe that would make sense. So, he believes that the acquisition would immediately catapult CGC into the most competitive cultivation spot by a mile. The last one key point that Saragusa writes about is how Village Farms currently owns a 5.7 million square foot greenhouse in Texas. So should they do some more federal legalization, then that's going to help with the interstate commerce and help make a large scale, low cost sources of cannabis. So that's going to be a big key as well, which is Village's bread and butter. So, and that's one thing that we can use for the U.S. sector. So I think this was a really interesting thing. If we could do anything here with Village Farms, I've heard about them, that they are a good company, that they're making money there. So we would like to be involved with successful companies. So, we'll see where this materializes into or what happens there. Lastly here, another one that we want to look at, an article. This was a video actually and an article, but so Sol Clahane, she is the VP here at Canopy now and overseeing the U.S. operations for most of this stuff that's going on with CBD and Martha Stewart and more than that, most likely. So she talks about her CPG expertise. I thought it was a really interesting watch and read. So you can check that out here. So she oversees the company's every aspect of commercial activity in the U.S., such as First and Free, BioSteel, and This Works. First and Free is kind of like lotion and different types of creams and stuff like that. BioSteel is like sports nutrition and CBD being infused maybe into that stuff. And This Works is more like a cosmetic, beauty and wellness and good stuff like that. So she talked about Martha Stewart arrangement, and she has these holiday-inspired gummies line. So I think this was really interesting. So she talks about how she came in. She had a expertise and experience in working in regulated industry like alcohol that helped her transition. She compared it a lot, saying that it's like a mood modulation. So that's one thing that she should know about. So she took some good lessons how to run a big CPG and just how to win, how to do the right thing. So, her thing with Martha that came through Snoop and another guy they were working with. And, Martha, she's an OG. She's been around and she knows what things are going to affect and how it's going to help. So she talked about that. I thought that was really interesting. And just how she's a trusted name. And she can also reach a high demographic. So from young people that, maybe they grew up, their parents tell them about Martha Stewart, or they watch some of the reruns on Dabble or any of the other things you might see Martha on. So that's a cool thing that, and also the older, more mature audience as well. So she can kind of relate to a lot of people. And so, she has this nice array of gummy samplers. Another thing that they're talking about is that, pet products and stuff like that might be coming as well. CBD pet line after the new year. That's exciting here. I have a cat myself, and I think that that would be a great thing to, get things accelerated with reaching some more shares of the market. Pets need to be calm and comfortable too, and I would love to have a natural product that I can give my cat to maybe just help him relax sometimes when he's a little very anxious or whatever the case may be. And dogs as well, it's a huge market here. So, and beverages is another great big market. Beverages are coming to the U.S. THC beverages in summer of 2021. So they're going to leverage their partnership with Acreage, which is Canopy's U.S. Arm, basically, or constituent that we're going to acquire once fully legal, or at least once we get some more catalysts inside the U.S. market to be able to do this the right way. So, the more Act is playing into that, and this Georgia runoff is playing into that to determine what we're going to have as far as legalization or decriminalization, and the social justice efforts as well. So this is a big array of topics, and everything is has a very interesting part in this. So we're gonna very much so keep a close watch on all the news that comes out. With this last week or so of the year left, we're just gonna look for some interesting movement and some good strength going into the new year. We've had a good year so far with trying to stay afloat and do good. So let's actually check out some of the things that happened during the year too. So let's see, Google. Let's see. So the year to date, it's not too bad. Started out around 2013. You know, COVID happened February, March, dove down to 973. Wow, and we've been marching back up since. So I don't know what time we started doing this, but I think we started somewhere around August or so. So it's been a hell of a ride, and hopefully we're gonna keep on kicking butt and going further here. So the last day kind of sold off a little bit, but if you look at the last 5 days, we had a weird spike here that we kind of talked about on the last video, I think, and kind of fizzled down a little bit on that short day we had. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow morning, and hopefully it's good. And we're gonna be ready for whatever's going to come, and maybe we'll get some good news. But I do thank you guys so much for checking me out and for riding along here with Canopy Growth. And I hope that one day everyone that helps to get in here and watch videos and invest can make tons of money too. So definitely good luck with that, and I wish you guys all the best. Take care, and thanks for checking us out here at Fanopy Growth.